Okay, so I'm sitting here with my great grandmother, and today is July 28th, 2020. The time is 1:16 p.m. So, first thing that I want to ask you is how you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Can you say or can you tell us your full name and your date of birth?
Loretta Burns. Date of birth, ninth, 12th month, 9th day, 29.
29. Nice. Okay. First off, I want to say that is amazing that you were born in 1929
Mhm.
because I was just thinking, like, I was born in 1991.
Mhm.
And for me to be able to sit here and talk to you is just unbelievable to me. And also for Jace to be born in 2016 and for him to know his great grandmother,
Yeah.
I think that's just unbelievable. So
Mhm.
I just want to say thank you for doing this as well, because I think this is very important for all of us, but specifically to me, I think this is very important. Okay, so I asked you when you was born. So where do you remember where you were born?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay. And what would you say, your first memory in your life? As early as you can remember. Can you know?
At 3 years old, I remember I grew up but she's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed she moved to Cincinnati
Okay.
from Kentucky. And she stayed next door. And her mother was a teacher. And I was the only one that could go in their house while her mother was gone. So I remember going out the back door to her back door and staying there until school was out and come back home,
Wow.
I remember that at 3.
Wow. That's crazy. Now, as far as your childhood home, do you remember that? Like, what was that like? Was that also in Cincinnati, or was that somewhere?
Cincinnati.
Everything was in Cincinnati?
Because
Okay.
now, my grandmother died when I was 4 months old.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So my first cousin took me at 4 months old and raised me up where I'm at.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my home life,
Mhm.
when my mother owned the house,
Okay.
the 19-room house. And so my one brother was in the service and the other brother, well, he was gone. But I washed windows.
Mhm.
I washed Venetian blinds. I mopped the halls and the steps.
Mhm.
I brought up coal. I broke coal. I cut wood. Unthawed pipes when pipes are frozen.
Mhm.
What else did I do? That's about all. But after I did my work, I could go,
Wow. And it was a 19-room house.
19-room house and a 3-car garage in the back.
What? So what did she do though? Like, what did they?
My mother, she started walking when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
So she was in a wheelchair
Mm.
up until then, until she died.
Right. So that's why, well, you had to do like a lot of the, I guess, stuff around the house, chores around the house. Right. That sounds like some hard work. And
But it was fun, because everybody at that time had Saturday work.
Okay.
Everybody up and down the block, you did your Saturday work and you could go to the Y or whatever.
Right.
So you got up doing it, trying to get through so you could get out. So it was a lot of fun because everybody did almost the same thing. They took mattresses outside and beat them to death and rugs and and then you run from house to house between your little chores that you had to do.
Right.
We just had a lot of fun.
Now, what neighborhood was that in? Was that like downtown or was that
downtown 4th Street?
On 4th Street.
What used to be a prominent part of town.
Right.
When the people started moving out, like Dr. McLean, he moved from 4th Street to 7th Street.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Walker, what did he move to? I think he moved to 8th Street. And different ones started because they made the C&O Railroad to go through there.
Mm-hmm.
Then C&O Railroad let the park, or let them rent the park. Part of it was playground.
Okay.
So the playground was from Smith Street down to Bay Miller.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly where it's at. Okay. Wow.
So in the Union Terminal, used to be 4th and Smith.
Okay. Right. Right.
Then
Right.
they moved down to where they are now.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So I
Wow.
saw all of that. And then the circus, the World Circus, I
Mhm.
guess you would call it, would come on 4th Street from Smith Street down to Bay Miller.
And the whole circus used to be right there.
All the way down the street,
That
and
is
we stayed
crazy.
across the street from it. So I got to play hooky from school.
Wow.
Those 3 or 4 days, you know.
Right.
Then the World Fair used to come down there. So
That is so crazy. It's like you would never know that just going down there, just driving through there. Or,
And
I mean,
now,
obviously have.
CNO took over. I forget what year it was. And so that messed the park up.
Okay. Okay. That is insane. That is insane. Yeah, because that's why I wanted to ask you about that. Because you know, I know like a lot of different areas down there are like no longer here. You know what I mean? So I definitely wanted to ask you about that for sure. Oh yeah, my mom was telling me about this book right here, Cincinnati's Colored Citizens. Okay, yeah, this is
It's been
insane.
around for years.
This is crazy.
I had John to go get one and get one for me, and he got him one.
Right, yeah. This is
Didn't get me one. And my family, my Aunt Martha, my Aunt Clyde, and Daddy is in that book.
Really. So 2 aunts and your dad. Okay, so that's actually kind of leads me to my next question. What was the names of your mom and dad?
My real mother and dad,
or both, or
I don't know my dad.
Okay.
But my mother's name was Teresa.
Okay.
Teresa Smith.
Teresa Smith. Okay.
But I was raised at Shinoff by being, 4 months old. Yeah, raised by Shinoff.
Right.
All the way through school and everything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now, do you remember any of your grandparents?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Really?
I don't remember my grandmother.
Okay.
I remember my great grandmother.
What? Do you remember her name?
Edna.
Okay.
Edna Ingram.
Edna Ingram. This is first off, this is blowing my mind because I figured you would know, but I'm like, it's crazy that you actually know that.
Well,
So-
see what it was, they would come to see me in Cincinnati.
Okay.
They didn't just drop me, after my mother died.
Right.
I know all my people.
Okay.
Mama taught me all my people.
Right.
And I used to have a cousin that stayed here. Nick Ingram, he died here.
Okay.
And it was still those boys
Right.
by my Uncle Clifford. And so I know all my ancestors,
Now,
But
they were in
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay.
Everybody was born in Kentucky but me. And she came here to a fair and had me here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now, what part of Kentucky do you remember? What part
All
of Kentucky?
over.
All over Kentucky. That is so crazy. And that we're still like right here next.
Like
to that,
Danville, Lexington, Louisville,
Right.
Lancaster, because all my family lived there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but you met your great grandmother though?
Yeah, my mother had died and my grandmother had died.
Okay.
And my great grandmother used to come here and play with me.
That is
A little
unbelievable.
short lady, yeah.
Okay. And what was she like? She
was real cheerful.
Really?
And then I had an aunt that was in the circus that I met. When did I meet her? Let me see. Back there probably in the 40s.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And
This is like blowing my mind. So you remember your great grandmother? I wonder when she would have been born. I mean, I know you probably would know that, but like it just blowing my mind like that you even remember that.
Yeah.
And that was really like really like my next question, like how like or in theory, well, you kind of say how your great grandmother was like. I guess your father, what was he like? What was?
I don't know.
Well,
I didn't know him.
Okay, yeah, you did say you didn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
So what about your grandmother? You remember what she was
No,
like?
she had died.
Oh, she had already died before
Mhm.
before you can remember
Mhm.
anything. Okay. Okay. Wow, this is so fast. Like I can like spend so much time on this. So they were all from Kentucky. So you moved here. So
She came here to a fair.
okay, okay.
She was pregnant and she had me here.
Oh, right. Okay,
So
okay.
after she passed, I just stayed
You
here.
should stay here. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Now what was you kind of mentioned it a little bit, like, but what was life like growing up here during that time for you as a kid? Like
Fun.
it was fun. Okay.
To be raised by an older mother, you know.
Right.
She wasn't strict. Like I said, as long as I did my work, I could go and be in the house at a certain time.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
See, yeah, I see. That's very crazy. Cause like I would think it would be almost like the opposite a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like no, this is how it goes, or like So almost I would say, would you say you grew up in some type of wealth? I would say, like, did you grow up with money or?
Well, I hate to say this, but during the Depression, I used to hate to go to school. For the simple reason, most people own the charity. They call it charity, like welfare.
Right.
But they call it charity then.
Right.
But kind of break tears to my eyes. A lot of kids had to wear the same thing, whereas I didn't have,
Right.
And
you didn't have to do that.
My aunts were beauticians. My aunt had a beautician at Fifth and John.
Okay.
My other aunt had a beautician at Fifth and Smith.
Okay.
Dad had a barber shop at Fifth and Mile.
Wow.
And my sister did hair. When I was raised as a sister, she did hair on 7th Street. So I never had to pay to get my hair done. I never wanted for a pair. Well,
Right.
But I never had a whole lot of money.
Right.
She would give me lunch money, and that was it.
Right.
And if you got any money, you made it.
Right.
You went to store for somebody.
Right.
But other than that.
But you still learned how to work. It wasn't like everything was just handed to you right then and there.
Mm-mm.
But you seen that it was people
that didn't have.
Right.
And then you go to school and they say she thinks she cute, so she got. But I didn't buy it. That's what you think about.
Right.
Wow,
that is crazy.
Yeah,
that's so. And then also indirectly, you were seeing like your family own like businesses, which is like
she owned the house,
right? And own a whole. You said 19 rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is like really just blowing my mind. That's the thing. Now was that area called like Kenyon Bar or something like that?
Kenyon.
Was it called Kenyon?
Kenyon Street.
Yeah.
That was down like by Stowe School.
Okay.
Kenyon, Kenyon. Wait a minute now.
Because I'm trying to think. Because I remember. Because they were saying basically like what the West End now used to be the neighborhood or something like that.
That's from the neighborhood.
Right. And then they put all that whatever, they just basically decimated, like you said, like they just changed the whole neighborhood, and then the history was gone or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
then the only thing left was the St. Rachel building, and that was 8 floors. Then they had an annex of five floors.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they had an elevator. And I learned how to drive the elevator.
Oh wow!
But it was for black people. I think there was a couple of white people still living on 4th Street during that time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then when the expressway came, that did everything.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say that was like kind of the history that I seen. Like I didn't get any more before that. It was just more of like, okay, this is when the intersections or the interstate highway came, it just like cut everything in half. Mm-hmm. These things was tore down. This stuff, and I'm just like, we would, and they still doing houses today, but it's like we just would literally never notice. It's like we're just walking here or living over here, and I'm like, I know I feel something, but I don't know what. Yeah. So that's why I was like, that's why I wanted to ask you that, because I'm like, every time I come up here, I literally feel something. Like every time I'm by the river, I feel something. Now
my house like set here,
mm-hmm.
and there was the park where they had built this part of the railroad. They had that part that could go straight through. They cut straight on over, go towards Smith Street Bridge.
Okay.
Now I could go up over the railroad track down to 3rd Street.
Okay.
Across the street, and I was on the bridge.
What?
Smith Street Bridge. The bridge got to go over to Kentucky.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That
Third, okay, there was 4th Street, 3rd
Mhm.
Street,
right.
2nd Street, and Front Street,
Right.
you know, and all that.
Yeah.
And I was just more like, you know, and we could walk across the bridge and ride on our bikes across the bridge
Oh, wow.
and all that, you know.
That's crazy. So what? So when you were younger, like what was some of the things that you like to do? Like you said, I was gonna say riding bikes and like what was the type of things y'all did when y'all was little? Because like kids nowadays, you know.
Well, everybody, like on Sundays, on Sundays, Lucille, the girl I was telling you about,
Mm-hmm.
her father had a trucking thing, you know,
Okay.
and he would let his son board a truck. We get in the truck and go on a picnic.
Really?
And then maybe some Sundays we get on our bikes and go for bike ride.
Oh wow. And how old was y'all? Like teenagers, a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
This man sold mama a bike, but it was a boy's bike, and I could only ride a boy's bike.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
and which was good.
Right.
They taught you really how to ride.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You learn fast.
You know you better not jump down.
Right. Better keep riding, or it's over. You gonna get left or something.
You gonna hurt something down there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But no, we said life. But and then we go skating.
Okay. And like skate rinks and stuff like that.
No, I'm down the street.
Oh, really? Okay.
All around the block. You couldn't go over to Kentucky because they would beat you up.
Oh wow. See.
You couldn't go out on the hill.
Okay.
People on the hill didn't allow people downtown.
Up there. Okay.
Same difference.
Right. Just yeah. So y'all was almost like
Everybody
was right here in this area. Wow.
Kentucky kids couldn't come over here. You know.
That is.
And then they had a bunch of gangs.
Right.
We had one gang called the If Gang. I knew him.
Mm.
And it was we you know,
Mm-hmm.
Mama wasn't strict on me. She just talked to me.
Right. Make sure you did your stuff and
then talked to me and told me a little bit that she could remember about life, you know.
Okay.
And that was it.
That is amazing. That was like really great.
You fix up food, put it beside her,
Mm-hmm.
and her water, and go about your business.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So she had like just a trust level with you that was
Mhm.
like.
Mm-hmm.
So who else was in the house? It was just you though? Like as far as your age or
up until Snoop Snoop went into service when I think he was 19.
Okay.
Herbert went in jail when he got to get out. Herbert was.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then Ruth left home to go to 7th Street and she married Big, sometime named Big.
Okay. So you
I
had.
was the only one at home.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was gonna ask at the time. So you had 3 brothers and sisters.
I had 2.
2. Okay. And you said their names was what?
Herbert Snoop. His
Okay.
name was Jerome.
Okay. But that was his nickname.
Called him Snoop.
Okay.
That's why I get mixed up with your name.
You're right. I know, right? It's like everybody.
I just don't call you nothing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and then Herbert and Ruth. Now, Mama made them be my brothers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Snoop's mother died the day that he turned, poor my soul. She died. He turned 4 months old the day of her funeral.
Wow.
And I think Herbert was, I forget how old he was, Ruth how old they were, but Snoop was a baby. So Snoop and I more or less went to school together. He was only 8 years older than me.
Right.
And we went to school together. So Mama just told everybody we were brothers and sisters. So
Right.
we always grew up, you know.
Right.
And
Wow, that's great.
And he stayed in the house until he went to the service, you know. So we were tight.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But, you know, it was just like, I told Donnie, I said, you know, I wouldn't, you know, get nothing for my life, you know, because I had a good time growing up. I don't have no complaints.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It definitely sounds like it. And the way you speak on it, it just sounds like it was just so much life. Like it was so much, like it felt like more, it really felt like a community one.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like
You knew it
for everybody and like, I don't even know.
You know,
that
everybody's walk at night.
Right.
You know, in the summer you go across the street. Miss Hattie would take us across the street and let us sleep overnight. They'd break and get up and go home, you know.
Right.
Because it'd be too hot to stay in the house.
Right, exactly.
It never did rain. It would rain in September, then the next day would be cold. Like it does now.
Yeah.
And the ground would be, oh Lord, it'd be like 103 and 104.
Jeez.
You know, we used to find a little spot to get cool. No, fans.
Right.
Made your own fan.
Right. I'm trying to get some type of water, maybe, or something. Maybe I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
No, you just something the summer out, and you knew when it was summer. You knew when it was running spring and fall.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
Right. So, what was like? Well, I would say your favorite season probably was summer then, right? During that time,
What was that?
your favorite season around that time, it was like summertime, or did you
Always
always?
summer.
Yeah, I feel the same
I love
way.
summer. I love summer. The
Yeah.
hotter it is, the better.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can find somewhere to get cool.
Right, yeah. I agree. I was like, I don't know if my birthday is just in summer, but I'm just like, I just like summer. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, I don't care for nothing else. I need to be warm or hot,
Me
some
too.
type of way. Like you said, let me cool down, like that. But I don't want to get cold and get warm. Like,
And
no.
it's hard to find some weather when you're cold.
Exactly. You can do all type of stuff when you're hot. Like, it's like, all right, I get something to drink,
People be thinking my eyes running and something.
Yeah.
I'm actually crying, trying to get in the house.
Exactly. That is great. Okay. All right, let me see. All right, well, tell me about the day you met Granddad. Do you remember that?
Yeah. He saw me in the choir one day.
Okay.
Went
Okay.
down to his church. He wasn't, his mother, that's another thing. His mother got him put out of Catholic school when he was small.
Oh, really?
So he had probably just said he was going back once he passed.
Okay.
Of course, he couldn't go back. You know? So, but anyway, he started going to the Christian church on Kenyon Avenue.
Okay. Right.
Okay. And so our choir went down there one Sunday to sing, but the way the choir logs were made, I had to be in the front.
Mm.
And he asked his boy, Charles Green, who was that lady, that girl up in the front,
Right.
So from then on, his church got out at 12:30 and ours got out at 1.
Okay.
So they would walk up to our church and be standing outside. And I knew he was after me. So he did that for about a year.
Really?
Yes, he did. I
Wow.
told him about it before he died, I said, you ran after me for a whole year.
Wow.
So
That is
then
crazy.
we went to a dance.
Hmm.
It was on Central Avenue. I forget his name is Zanzibar, I think it was.
Okay.
But it was upstairs and he was there. Everywhere I would go, he would be there.
Wow.
If I go to the Y, he would be at the Y. If I go to another dance, he'd be there. Everywhere I go,
You just knew he was there.
I just knew he was there. But I wasn't ready,
Mhm.
because I was having a good time and I wanted to just go with this boy.
Right. Yeah.
Just having a good time.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I wasn't ready to be settled down with him.
Right.
So on February the 14th, I was going with some girls, and he walked over to another girl that went to our church to ask her to introduce him to me. He walked over and so she introduced him. And he said, well, would you save the last dance for me?
Oh, wow. What a classic line.
Yeah.
That's classic.
So I went home and I had done something and Mama said, I'm putting you in the home tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And that's where I got that from.
Right.
And so I said, well, Mama, can I just go tomorrow to the dance? She said, yeah. So I called him up.
Okay.
That was the next night.
Right.
I called him up. I said, well, since my mama said you were dumb during that time, So since my mama gonna put me at home tomorrow, the day after tomorrow.
Right.
I said, would you take me to the Y? And we started going together.
Oh, wow. Wow. It was like perfect timing. That was like, I know he was like super excited about that.
Yeah. And then after that, he started coming. He would call me every evening because he worked at the Y on Victory Park. I think it was on the Parkway.
Okay.
On the corner.
Oh, yeah. I think I know. Yeah. Similar.
He and his cousin Harry, they worked there from 3 to 8.
Okay. Yeah.
And on his break or whatever you would call it, he would call me up.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the only thing we didn't have was a phone.
Right.
Either my aunt, I had to go up to my aunt's house or go next door to that phone. Lucille would call me, Loretta, telephone, and I fly out the back door.
Like, I already know who that is. Like, you ain't got to tell me.
And
Wow.
then he would come down every Saturday and Sunday. He
That is
just spoiled
crazy.
us every day.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
And then we got married in 1951.
1951. Wow,
Mhm.
that is crazy. No, what do you remember about that day? Was it like you getting married? Like,
Well, I start, I start, I start. Okay, he asked me to marry him 3
Mhm.
times, and you know how you want to get married, but you don't want to get married because you figure like, oh no,
yeah, right,
I
right,
ain't ready for this,
hmm
But you're in love,
right.
You're crazy about the person,
Definitely.
So that third time he asked me, I was upstairs at this lady's house, and we used to go up there,
Mhm.
and she hollered. She said, "Miss Chenault ain't gonna live always. She ain't gonna take it." So I said, "Yeah."
Right.
So then we got married. When did we get married? January.
January 1951. Wow, that is great. Now, did y'all have like a ceremony, or was it just like
We was in the church. What you call it? In
the courthouse or something like
the
that?
rectory in the church.
Oh yeah, okay. Mhm.
But the only thing I started that getting married because he didn't tell me he was going to invite his whole family,
Oh wow,
and I
okay.
didn't invite anybody.
Right. You thinking it was gonna be just y'all two, and yeah,
And get it over with.
right.
And the girl that Lucille stood up with me, and Harry stood up with him, and
Definitely.
we would go.
That would have made sense. It's like, yeah, just
we
simple. Yeah.
went to the cotton club and stay up all night long.
Right.
That's the part.
Right.
And I looked and I saw all these cousins, and I knew all of them.
Right.
And his mother, and I was because he was adopted.
I remember you telling me that, or somebody was telling me that he was adopted as well. Yeah.
But see, then I remember one time he was on television.
Oh, really?
Something he had to speak on. And he said, and Loretta and I both were adopted. And so
It's like, wait, like that's not accurate.
so when he got on, I called him up and said, "Boy, you might have been adopted, but I wasn't."
Like, stop right there.
I said,
That was crazy.
Mama was my first cousin.
Definitely.
I said, Mama just took me.
Right.
But you put yours down on paper.
Right.
And
So you never went through the thing of like, all right, you got to go through the state and all this.
Yeah. I said, and then you knew your mother.
Right.
So she used to come and tell him, "I'm your mother," while he was playing.
Okay.
And he would run home and tell Miss Burns, "This lady keeps saying that I'm her son." And he didn't know her till he got grown.
Right. Yeah, I remember seeing a picture in his house like a while ago. Yeah. It was like she had like, I don't know if she had like a gown on or like a robe. Yeah, something like that.
She could play the piano.
Okay, that's what it was.
She could play the piano and sing.
Yeah.
But I had a record. I think Lil Jon might have that record. Mm-hmm. But she was okay, but he didn't recognize it. But after he did get to know her,
Right.
So that's why I had the kids call her Aunt Tootie.
Okay.
And it wasn't because I was asking me why did they call her Aunt Tootie? They called her Grandma. I said, because she really wasn't a grandma to them. Right. And I just, to give her a title, instead of saying Miss Zenobia, I just had it and called her Aunt Tootie. Okay.
Wow, that's good to know too.
Yeah, so.
Wow, that is crazy.
I know.
That is like crazy. Because like I said, I be like really, I be trying to like piece stuff together and be like trying to understand like, okay, like how did we get here? One. Yeah. And like, what is certain stuff like not necessarily what it means, but like just getting to the history of like taking the layers of like what am I looking at when I'm out here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like what does people see when they see me? What do I see when I see my great grandma? Like, you know what I mean? So that is like very good. I wish I would have been able to do this with my granddad as well. But again, you telling a lot of stories with him, so that's great. Now you said something about the Cotton Club. I've heard of that before. Okay. What is the Cotton Club? All right. Okay,
it had started with we used to call them sissies.
Okay.
You couldn't go till you were 21.
Right. Yeah, like a bar or something like that.
Believe it or not, when I was younger,
right,
I could get in any place.
Really?
Underage. Without no ID. I could go to beer joints. I could, because I love my beer.
Right.
I used to love beer.
Right, definitely.
And so I could go to Cotton Club and sit up at the table, and like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so I used to go. Then when I got of age, I had to have ID.
Oh, of course. So all the time I'm walking in here, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what's going on now? Like,
Yeah. And I told him, I said, Dang, I used to come in here when I was 16.
yeah.
And now,
Y'all making it way harder. Like, I'm just really just trying to get in here for real now. Like,
yeah, man,
yeah.
But anyway, it was a big club, nightclub,
Okay.
and they had entertainment.
Hmm.
But most of the time, the gay men,
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
then we didn't know anything about gay. We knew sissies.
Right.
But they used to live way down on 4th Street somewhere.
Okay.
But they couldn't walk the street. So what they would do, they would come up 4th Street because 4th Street was kind of dark.
Hmm.
And we'd sit outside on Friday, Saturday night,
Mhm.
waiting for them to come up, see what kind of evening gowns they had on.
Oh,
'Cause
right.
they couldn't go up off the street dressed.
Wow.
So they would come up 4th Street, go out Smith Street,
Okay.
and cut down 7th Street and be right at the cutting club.
Wow.
You know.
And it's because people obviously they would try to like beat them up or like
Oh,
try to
really?
kill them.
Y'all really? Oh, no.
Wow.
You gay, you better stay back.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Now.
Right. That's
Let's think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the part, but I won't do it. But no, and then they called it the dine dance. On Saturday nights, you stay until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
You know.
Okay.
And then stop selling beer. You could stay at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow.
Long as you
Just in
didn't
there,
drink.
just partying, just
Mhm.
doing what you got to do. Right.
So, and I used to come home, wash up, go to church,
That next day.
but I wouldn't take communion.
Okay.
No, I never. No, that's one thing I wouldn't do.
Right.
Yeah, come home and get up there in the choir and sing too.
That is amazing. That is great.
But
So it was like a lot of like, I guess it was like jazz. That was like the kind of
yeah,
vibe.
that was real jazz.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I didn't necessarily. I've heard of. I know they had like different cotton clubs in like different cities and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I know the one here, I remember seeing just a little bit of like, it was like the real jazz players and like really coming in there and like
Yeah.
showing out type of thing. I'm like, this is like unbelievable. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you can find that anymore. You know what I mean? Even if it's not jazz, it's that energy there. You know what I mean? Like, it's very hard to recreate that same
Well,
spirit.
like this
And,
is the borderline to the south.
right. Okay.
So
Definitely.
most of them would come
Mhm.
from Alabama and all,
Right.
play in the cotton club.
Right.
Mhm.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when it was cobblestone streets,
Hmm.
like the old brick
Right. Yeah.
and the milk trucks with the horses pulling them. I remember I used to love. We used to go Sunday pass ride
Hmm.
in a quarter.
Okay.
Leave church, come home, do what you had to do.
Hmm.
Pay a quarter, ride all day long.
Really?
With on the Sunday pass.
Wow.
And the streetcars, they used to come down 4th Street.
Now, was they pulled by horses too? Or that was at the time there was electric at that point? Okay. That's so crazy. Yeah, and that, obviously I drive a streetcar. I don't know what they're doing now, but I was just thinking about that too. I'm like, this is a dynamic of me driving the streetcar and then knowing how many streetcars there used to be and like the way in which people used to really use them.
Yeah.
It just is like,
And everybody
blows
used
my-
streetcar, because you just, only thing when you got on the back and walked to the front.
okay, right.
I think I was born just when he started getting on the front.
Oh, really? Okay, right.
But you could stand at the back for the east. Did you ever see the old incline, one of the inclines
Yes. I've seen. Was that
The one-
near?
down there? You didn't see one close.
I seen pictures though. but-
this one,
Was that like not Eden Park?
yeah.
Mount Adams,
Yeah,
Eden
yeah,
Park area
yeah,
type, something like that.
yeah.
Okay,
It
yeah.
went
I
up
remember seeing pictures
And
of it.
now I was scared of that, even though I would ride it.
Yeah. It look kind of
I
scary.
used to think that thing would break.
Yeah, it did look kind of like, I don't know about this. On the pictures, I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe I would have got on it, but I don't know. Like,
It was okay if you sat in the front, but if you sat in the back, you got all that elevated up.
Oh, yeah.
Like high heel shoes.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now they used to run in the back and stand out there and look. No, I never did that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I was so glad to get up to
the right.
But I was just riding.
Right, yeah.
The only way to get up to
That sounds fun though.
I used to do some not bad things.
Mhm.
Every now and then I did a little bad something.
Right. But understandably, I mean, it was
we just had a good time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you create your own fun. Like, that's what it sounds like.
There wasn't no fighting. If it was, they fought with garbage cans and, bricks and chairs.
Right.
Not like they're doing now,
To where, it's just like something like this and everything. Yeah, so that's what I said. Like, the way in which you were speaking on it, it just sounded like it was just so vibrant. Like, everything was just alive. You know what I mean? Like, everybody had a goal, or it was just like, or everybody just was working together, which is like, that's what that's what it sounded like. And two, that's what I'm always trying to get back to. Like, how do we even get back to that? Like, even as, I don't even know if that's even possible anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
because, the people that started trouble, they stayed with themselves. They fought among themselves.
Okay, right. So it was like this set, you knew what that set of people was and what
street to go down and what street not to go down.
Right.
Want to run into a gang, go on down that street.
Right.
So you didn't really say stay away from, but you just knew.
You just knew like in your head, like, all right, this is common sense. Like, don't do this, don't. Yeah.
And you knew the white places you could go in, the white places you could. Now, Matter Adams, you couldn't go nowhere black people.
Right.
You went around the back.
Okay.
Down in there.
Definitely.
And you could come across on the ferry.
Right.
But you had to come up this way.
Come a whole nother way to get there.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
You go to Fern Bank, you had to stay in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Go in and come on out.
Right. Wow.
So, but there was a lot of prejudice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I was like, I learned a little. They try to tell you a little bit. You got to go really digging to see like what was really happening, because they kind of glorify everything. It was just like, oh, I'm like, what was the real thing though? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was really going on? Because y'all can say that this was like Cincinnati was this and that, but I'm like, I know the black citizens was not treated the way in which, like you were just mentioning, like you had to go through a whole nother way to get to a neighborhood and do it. It's like, that's just insane. Like,
and you really didn't want to go no other way, because wasn't nobody your color that way.
Right,
so
exactly.
You stayed where
Right, which made sense. Exactly. Wow.
And then you knew you weren't supposed to go over the river.
Mm-hmm.
So you slipped over there, got your little liquor and come on.
Right. Get right back over. That's
then pretty soon you could go over to the downbeat and the 333 club and all that, downbeat was out on the hill, Lord have mercy.
Right.
But but it was not,
Yeah.
The only thing about it, if you did anything wrong, everybody in the block, this mother knew, that mother knew, they got back to your mother.
Right.
So you weren't that prepared to get this with them.
Right. Before you knew it, after you find out, like, well.
I know this lady stayed on Smith Street.
Mm-hmm.
Never spoke to me, and she always was by herself. She owned a house. And it was Joe Max Miller and Joe Lewis's fight.
Okay.
That's when Joe Lewis knocked Max Miller out.
Mm.
My aunt had gone to Yellowstone North National Park for something. I don't know why she went. But anyway, Mama sent me to the store, and I went to get 5 penny pickles. I love sour pickles.
Mm-hmm.
And they turned on the jukebox.
Oh, wow.
And I was dancing. And my aunt, she would always go down and see Mama every night, her and her husband. And I don't know, she must have seen me. But she told Mama. Now, Mama would never roll her eyes at you. She would never act like she was going to whip you. She act like you were not talking.
Right.
To come to leave. But you knew you was going to get it.
Right.
So you didn't go to bed because she'd get you out of bed.
Right. Oh, wow. She'd wake you up like, nope.
Yeah, you ain't no sleeping, And Mama just looked at me and I said, oh, God, to myself. But anyway, ain't cried enough clearly left. Mama said, bank the stove. That means fix the stove so it stay warm all night long. Put a whole lot of coal in there.
Right.
And so the coal box was behind the stove.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama was in a wheelchair.
Mm.
Mama would get the strap, roll up behind you and pin you in there.
Oh, wow.
And you can't turn because the coal going to eat you up.
Oh.
and the stove's gonna burn you.
Oh my god.
So you gotta lay there.
Right. You just gotta take it like, like which one is worse? Getting burnt by this coal or this whooping?
And then she, oh, you thinking, and she would be for thinking, and you would be thinking.
Right.
So it was just like,
That is crazy.
so, but it kind of helps you out to be a better person.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, and that's why I said like when you saying she wasn't like strict, but long as you did what you needed to do,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's like that. That taught
Like,
you like everything you
That's
needed to
like
know.
you say you doing dates.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as long as you do what I ask you to do,
Right. Everything is gonna go this way.
Mhm.
Like, but when you go that way,
I'm gonna take something away.
Right.
And do something.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so far as you know,
Mm-hmm.
now you know when you're gonna get in trouble. So that's the way. That's a good thing to do.
Definitely.
Some people can't talk to their kids
Right.
because
yeah.
they never talked to them before. You know what I
Mm,
mean? If you don't start out right, you won't.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
because I praised Donnie
Mm-hmm.
with you all.
Right.
Because I told Donnie what it's. I said, Donnie, put them in everything you can find.
Right.
I
Give them
said-
something to do. Give everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, and then if they go bad, they just go bad on their own.
Right. But you're not gonna give nobody the option to do that.
Yeah.
Present it here and now. Yeah.
Because you didn't have time to run the street.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
so that's what
that's
I
good.
love
That's
about
good
her.
advice. Mhm.
So you doing the same thing that she did.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's good advice. Yeah. I definitely like when you told me that I was like, what? I didn't never really put it in that perspective when you said that, but I'm like, now you said that I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. Like I'm gonna really like go. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
so when he do see something, it's like okay. He's always gonna be like, all right, I always got an option. Like,
Yeah,
it ain't just
yeah.
like, all right, I ain't got no choice. I had to do this. It's like,
Yeah.
no, actually, you had 3 or 4 different times to do this, but like you said, you still went and did something
Mhm.
bad. Like that was just you just want to do that at that point. You know what I mean? So,
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Because you ain't got to beat on the child all the time.
right, exactly.
It's okay to give them a little tap to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, every time you turn around, you gonna tear him up. That's-
Yeah, just for like, all right, you knocked the thing off, boom. Whereas it was like, wait a minute, like they might have not even was paying attention, Yeah.
And give them a chance to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah.
be tearing them up because sometimes they can't be telling the truth.
Right, yeah. Then you just beat them down. It was some whole other scenario that ain't had nothing to do with them or something.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
people just jump on the kids, go, yes, you did. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
And you be praying and really be telling the truth.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, but life is okay as long as you can make it or you can break it.
Definitely.
Because I promised myself that I wasn't gonna like you see some grandparents
Mm-hmm.
just be evil for no reason, and holler at you. And I didn't want to be like that. I
Right.
started out a little bit like that.
Right.
And I had to check me,
Mm,
and so.
that's good.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's why I never felt none of that from you ever in my life. And you're my great grandmother, so it's like you know what I mean. And then my mom, she was never like that at all,
I
like,
know.
ever.
So I tried to talk to Devin and them, when they were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And Vicky got more hoops than anybody.
Really?
Oh, Vicky used to do unnecessary stuff in front
Okay.
of you. She do.
I would have never thought that. Like, I thought she would have been not the one that would have get the most movies.
I was sweeping the floor, sweeping the sidewalk.
Okay.
And then you get the little dirt in the pile and you take and put,
Mm,
get away from the curb.
right.
And she was standing right there looking at me. She said, Mama. I said, what? She said, you don't believe I'll step out on the side, out there in that street? I said, what? She said, you don't believe I stepped out there in the street? I think they was about 5 years old.
Oh.
And I said, no. And she stepped out there. And
What?
I just had to. I mean, stuff like that she used to do.
Right. Like what are you doing there now?
And one day she was saying, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm thinking, and she was just singing this little song.
Yeah.
What is wrong? She was like a daredevil. She was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
daring.
Okay.
I
That
want
is
to
funny.
see if you do anything, But I never cursed my kids.
Okay.
I never. Now I cursed,
Right.
but I never cursed them.
Right.
Mm-mm.
That's good.
I
That's good.
wanted to.
Right. But it has that self-restraint. Like, let me not
Yeah.
go this route.
Because
Right.
I figure like if I curse them, they're gonna turn around and say a curse word in front of me, and it's gonna make me mad.
Right.
I did it.
Right. So like I gotta go and do so
You gotta think too, having kids. They psych your mind.
right. I learned that very fast with Jace because he is like very active, and I'm just like, wait a minute, I can't keep just reacting off of like every little thing. I mean, he still is little, but still, I just like
Yeah.
I have to catch myself sometime. Like, okay, like let me just kind of
They
not
get on your
respond.
nerves.
Right, yeah, and I'm like, let me just not respond, or let me go and do this, or like come over here and do this instead. Like do this because you get on my nerves doing that, like or something like that. So, wow, that's so funny about Mama. Though I would have never thought
Yeah,
that.
I remember I bought, then you could buy shoes for $1.
Mhm,
I bought some gym shoes, we call them gym shoes
mhm.
then. And but went up to Dan Corns and got him a little store up there on 5th Street. Got him, gonna take him somewhere. And with this part of that part was dirt in the back.
Okay.
But before that was stone. So that was called the alley.
Okay.
But we
Mhm.
still call the back part of the house the
Right.
alley too. And somebody had swept some dirt up in the corner and had set it on fire, 'cause
Mhm.
they try to keep their little part in front of the house and back of the house. They try to keep it clean.
Oh, right.
Then they could take out one of those shoes and throw it in the fire.
What?
I
And you just bought them?
asked Debbie, what's Vicky's shoes? She said, Mama, she threw it in the fire.
Oh my
I
God.
burned her up that day.
Oh
I had to run back up to the store.
oh my goodness.
Debbie like she is now.
Right.
Kind of evil.
Yeah, she was like the stern one, like this. Yeah, like compared to Mama, like she was like.
Vicky meant what she meant.
Right.
When she grew up.
Right. They was like night and day. It's like I always thought literally, like that was like the definition of night and day. I feel like in
well,
theory.
Most twins are, because I saw these twins on TV.
Mm.
One was gay and one wasn't.
Oh wow.
And one stole and the other one didn't.
Mm.
Then some of them before they could talk real good.
Mm-hmm.
They could feel what the other one felt.
Wow.
Debbie would come and tell me something like now. They would come and tell me about Our Lady, the same identical thing.
Wow.
That's where they used to be.
That is crazy. So, okay, so there was your firstborn, obviously. What did you know that you were having twins?
No.
What?
No.
So you just had.
They kept taking me to X-ray. Talk about what was this doctor? The evil doctor. What was his name? I forget it. But anyway, one was saying we see one, and one said we see two, and one said no, it's just a shadow. And they went down there arguing about, and so when Vicky had grown to my ribs, like so they had to turn her, but they couldn't turn her, so I had to get a section.
Okay.
And so when they got Vicky out, well, I'm tired.
Right, it's like, what? All right, like we done. Let's get it over with.
And so some kind of moved up in here. Well, Debbie was this way. She couldn't turn around.
Wow.
And some kind of moved, and I remember saying something's moving. And the doctor said, well, let me see. Something like that. And they said, oh my God, another one. And I said, shit, it ain't none of mine. And they knocked me out.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious? That is wild.
Everybody came home with one baby and a job. I come home with two babies and no job.
Oh my God. Oh, that is crazy.
Oh,
yeah, because I never knew. I was like, I wanted to ask you that. Like, did you even know that it was? Because that first off, that having twins, that's just insane. Did you think about? I can't even fathom that. But you did not even know, to that time, right then and there, like.
I didn't weigh but 127 pounds.
Wow, and carried two babies, and you carried the full term?
Yeah, no, 8 months.
8 months, okay. Well, that's still crazy too. Like, you know what I mean? Like for you to carry two of them for that long.
Vicky weighed 3 pounds. Debbie weighed 4 pounds.
Okay.
So the reason I say Debbie because I brought Debbie home first.
Oh, really?
I had Debbie 2 weeks.
Right.
So notice John would say Vicky and Debbie.
Right. Okay.
So, but Vicky, I brought Debbie home. Oh, and then I had her 2 weeks before I brought Vicky home.
Okay. Because she was too small, obviously.
Both
She
of them
had to
was
stay.
too small.
Okay.
They just stayed 2 weeks. And
Right.
Vicky stayed a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Then when I had Judy, they talked about twins. I don't
Right. Whoa. Like, no, let's not. Like another. No, we're not doing this
I
anymore.
started crying. Lord, because I wasn't mad when I had a living baby.
Right.
I thought my mama gonna kill me.
Yeah, you have another. Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Oh,
Like
Lord.
2 sets back to back. Like, no, like we're not doing that.
No.
That would have
I
been crazy.
wasn't coming home.
Yeah. You know, y'all might as well just keep me here as this is over.
I wasn't working that time. I was working in between.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I got married at August, September, October, November, January.
Okay, you got married that following
Boom.
January 51. Okay. Wow. That is insane.
Yeah, because John, he wouldn't let you tell that.
Really?
He would say they were born in 1951. Well, no, we married.
51. You said 51,
Yeah,
January
yeah,
51?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So he was saying they were born in that
Yeah.
51 and 51.
In 50.
Okay, 50.
He was saying 51.
Oh, right. But technically, they was really born in 50. Okay.
Yeah. I said, what's in 4 months don't make no difference.
Yeah, it's like, what's the thing?
Lucky I married you.
Like, right. You said told him no 3 times.
Mama was still living, you know.
Right.
And then I had all the rest of them, you know, my sisters and
Okay.
my aunts and them, and I wasn't worried about, you know, I was going to get a job anyway.
Right.
But I mean, I wasn't worried about them not eating.
Right, exactly, because you already knew that was going to be taken care of.
They helped me through my marriage, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because every week, when I got married, I was packed to go home.
Right.
John would set me off about that. That was an excuse. So
Right.
I had a big old trunk, like, and I just got tired of packing and unpacking.
He's like, all right, well, these miles are just.
I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But me and John said we still had a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Separated.
Definitely.
But, yeah, because he would call me up. You ready to go? Where are we going now? You know, we going to the show. No, we're not going. Yeah.
Oh man, that is funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I had a good life. I really did.
That's what I'm saying. This just sounds like it's so amazing.
You think I'm telling this? You get somebody about my age and ask them what fun they had.
That is crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's like it just seems like it just seems so different.
Yeah, it was a whole lot different.
Like,
you know?
and for you to be able to remember and recall all this is just like really cool to me. You know what I mean?
But
Like
you
I'm
know
like
who
really.
could remember my mother before she died?
Mm-hmm. She had a really good memory.
Cool, better than mine.
Really?
Because sometimes I hesitate on the name, just getting
right.
Your boy, Jadon.
Right. Right.
All them J's.
Right.
But Mama, on Sundays, you could tell when Sunday comes, you didn't have to ask nobody. Look at Mama started singing church songs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I learned a whole lot of, you know.
Right.
John said, how you know that?
Right.
My mom used to sing these every Sunday.
Right, exactly.
And then she would just tell you things. That's how I knew. Because Mama was like, I think that's about 50 when she was raising me.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
Yeah, so she was already kind of older and stuff like that,
she
right?
was 93 when she died.
Wow. And
And Daddy,
okay.
I think Daddy was in his 80s.
Okay.
Now, I had to, by Mama and I walking, they ran down the street and got me and told me Daddy had fallen up the street.
Okay.
Daddy was a sport. Daddy wore his chain on. He was a preacher.
Oh, yeah.
Daddy was a preacher, but he wore his chain on his suits, you know.
Okay, so he was like fly. Yeah. Let's see.
Old sport, yeah. And they was spats on his shoes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went up there, and I had to take him to the hospital. So I had to run back down and get money from Mama to take Daddy to the hospital.
Mm.
So we drove in an ambulance, a big old, looked like like one of Volkswagen, like.
Oh, like almost like a van or something like that, or
like a van.
Okay.
But no, just a plain old.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
plain old box thing,
mm.
and you could walk past it.
Yo, right? He's like, what is he doing?
So, but anyway, when they let him out of the hospital, I had to bring him home.
Okay.
We rode. It was a streetcar came down all the way down 4th Street to Bay Miller to 27, and the one that stopped at John Street was 49, and they came from the hospital.
Oh, right, okay.
So we had to get out right there at John Street. So the conductor put him in my lap and I sat on the curb. Well, I knew this man from the seat upstairs in Mama's building would come up and go down to the car that was down there where the railroad track was. And if somebody break a crate, you get to get anything in that crate, you can have it. So they go down and get vegetables and stuff in the morning.
Right.
So I knew he would be coming through.
Right.
He would turn down John Street. So I sat there until almost daybreak. And Mr. Carpenter came with his truck, with his wagon, rather. And I called him, and he put that in his wagon.
Wow.
And took him home. And Mama made me go to school. I was in the 4th grade.
What?
And Daddy died while I was at school.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember.
After all that,
Yeah.
and then you had to go.
Mom, you going to school, you be all right when you come home.
Oh, my God.
I was crazy about my dad.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And then you was it's like, well, at least you was you did as much as you could, which is amazing, obviously, for you to be in 4th grade and do all that. That sounds like wow. But
I don't see I could just write a book about it.
listen, this is why I wonder, because I'm like,
You ain't gonna do nothing with that, but just to what I mean.
yeah, for sure. I want to just keep this as an archive. Like, I just want to keep it as an archive. Like, so, we'll just have all this. Because I want to try to do it with as many people as I can, like, especially in, like, family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I started with Jace. So, I did an interview.
What did Jace want to ask me?
Oh, okay. So, he wanted to ask you, what is your favorite state? Because he just likes to learn about states now. So he said his favorite state was Florida. So he wanted to know what your favorite state was.
You know what? I tell him, maybe you explain it. I don't like to travel.
Right. I don't remember. I don't think I told you that, but I kind of was thinking, I'm like, girl, you don't really like to travel that much. So
I like my money in my pocket.
Right. Yeah, not taking it over there and dropping it off.
You go spend all this, and you come home and you broke.
Right.
So I'll go.
Right.
So my favorite state is Ohio.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll let you know that because
Yeah.
I told him that like we've only been to like here in Columbus, so I was like, we haven't even really explored this state, dude. So before all this stuff, we get to get to do stuff here. So okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Maybe Kentucky.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Now we used to go to Kentucky every Sunday.
Okay.
So that's how I know all my kin people.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
I have 3 cousins. One was named Wade Lee, Matt Lee, and Jenna Lee.
Okay.
There's 3 brothers' children, my uncles.
Okay.
Children. Each one of them had a daughter, and that's what they named each one. And I'm saying that was so dumb. You know,
they all right.
People were dumb back. Wade Lee, Jenna Lee,
That's a Kentucky names for you too, man. That's like some country names.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but we just have to do that.
Definitely, yeah. I'll definitely let him know that because he's just so interested in that. He's just like, ask her what her favorite state is. We always start with the like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right, cool.
But I'll go. But
Right.
I mean, I can do it. Like when we went to this last time, went to Columbus and stayed in them individual.
Oh yeah, I remember y'all went. Yeah, I think I was at work. I couldn't go up there, but I remember we y'all went.
Yeah, and it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing we stayed in, it had the kitchen and everything.
Oh right, okay.
And in Columbus, I don't like Columbus because every time you step out the door, you on the expressway.
Right.
Said,
their streets are like really crazy.
I said, don't have no side streets
Right.
because I got tired of riding.
Right. Exactly. Nope. It's either you either go this way or you go that way or you go back that way. It's like, where's the little curve? Can we get a little side crevice over here or alley? Something like no.
I said, we got to drive to get to the expressway.
Like, ain't we already on it? Like, what? Everybody flying. Like, what the sidewalks and stuff?
Yeah, I'm saying like, Libra and Kevin came back one year and called me up and told me they were getting married. They're going to move to Columbus.
Oh, yeah,
We're
okay.
going to take you there.
It's like,
You ain't-
nope. I'll call you on the phone, but other than that,
I ain't going
no.
to Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, but no.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good.
I've been to Toledo. I've been to Cleveland. With Mama and them. Mama had a sister in Toledo
Oh, really? Okay.
and a sister
I've never been to Toledo.
in Kentucky.
Okay.
And that's why we used to go to Kentucky all the time.
Right.
See her sister every Sunday.
Right.
They put Mama in the car. Mama sit up there. Had a little straps where you hold
Oh,
on
yeah.
to keep from falling off all them pillows they had to put on.
Oh, yeah. So
she
she
sat
cause
way
she
up.
walked, right.
And we go to Kentucky, and when them Nicholas boys, he bought potty chairs, and she was saying, I got a surprise for you. And I rode all the way to Kentucky, 2-hour drive. And my feet propped up on these boxes. And
Oh, yeah.
John was sitting in the front. And I'm saying, what is in these boxes? Mom says, it's a surprise. And we got there, and she over there, 2 little potty chairs. I was 2.
Like this is
with this great big box.
Like, why is this in this big box? Like, rest off.
So when we come back, we let them sit in the chair to come back.
That is funny.
You still got this thing on?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Boy.
Yes. So it was in the background the whole time. So
okay.
Yeah. So that's why I just tried to make sure. I think somebody tried to call me, but yeah, it's all good. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. You answered a lot of the questions that I kind of had down. Well, here's one of the questions. Do you remember why you name your kids their names? Obviously, I know Uncle. Obviously, he's named after Granddad. But do you remember why you named them their names?
Judy because I wanted a J.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I never thought about
So
that.
John said her name was Judy. Judith.
Okay.
Judith.
Right.
And Deb and Vicky, I think, couldn't. First, I was gonna name them alike.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor said, "Don't name them alike.
Right.
Let them have sex, and don't buy them everything alike.
Mm.
Be like individuals.
Right.
You got enough alike, you can alike.
Right.
So the people I used to work for stayed on the place. They had two daughters, Deborah and Victoria.
Mm.
So I just thought about them and named them that.
Wow. That is amazing. 2 great names too. I like those names as well.
Biggie didn't like her name.
Really?
Biggie didn't like Victoria for nothing. I said, well, it's too late now.
Right. Like, what you gonna do, Jane?
It's too late.
Why she didn't like her name?
She never did like Victoria.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now, there's a picture of Vicky right there.
Right.
And that one from Judy.
I couldn't imagine her no other name though. That's the thing. Like,
Me either.
you know what I mean? Like, what other name could she have been? Like, oh yeah. I've seen this. Yeah, I think does my mom have this picture? This is crazy that they're twins.
Judy man that made Mother's Day.
Yeah, I think my mom has this picture. Yeah. I see this all the time every time I go over her house.
And that's really what David Vicky looked like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I can't even really tell who is who.
That's Vicky right there.
Okay, yeah.
Now I don't know who that man is.
Yeah.
I said, who's this man? Yeah. So what else?
That is crazy. Okay. Okay. Have you ever thought about how many grandkids? Have you ever counted how many grandkids,
Yes.
great grandkids, great greats?
I got 9 grandchildren.
Okay. Now you know how many great grandchildren that you have?
Last time I counted was 32.
32? Wow. That's
And then
crazy.
I was counting the great ones.
Mhm.
I said, well, Trudeau got 6. Okay, 7.
Yeah, great.
And July's got 1 at 7.
Right.
You got 1.
Right.
It's 8.
Then Tyler.
Tyler, 9. And
Jay.
the boy, and
Oh, wait.
what's the boy's name?
J-Ron. Yeah.
Because
Yeah, because I never had put it together. Like,
TJ's is only great
right.
because he don't have a child.
Right.
Okay. So
And
I
he
still
had a
have
ton
10
of those.
great grandchildren. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I think.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah,
Yeah, I think about 9. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, about 9 if I'm counting them right.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, yeah, it is 10. Yeah. Once you, okay, yeah, J-Ron, since he just had his daughter, he made it 10. Okay.
And then I counted TJ's
Mm-hmm.
6,
Right.
6, 7, 8. So he got Eliza and
Oh yeah, baby TJ.
yeah,
Right,
so
and
it's
then
8
the
children of his
newest.
own.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you got it.
Mama, Vicky would have died.
Oh my.
And he would have been taking them kids over and dropping them off.
And just leaving, like
I told
you're pulling
Donnie,
her hair out.
I said, Donnie, I said, I believe you Lord took Vicky to keep all them kids because TJ wasn't going to ask her, would she? You just going in, he was doing that already.
Like, I'll be back. It's like, when? We're gonna be back. Like, it's 12 people over here. Like,
Because I asked her one time, I said, Vicky, you tired of keeping them kids all the time? You know? She said, no. I said, Vicky, and she told Debbie, she said, I'm so tired of TJ bringing them kids over here. Now, you know she be stoned.
exactly.
Because he couldn't bring them to my house.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. I was gonna say no.
You know, like Donnie said, I get them once a year.
Yeah. Right. She get like two at a time or something. She's like, not all of them. I can't. I'm not doing it. I'm like, well, that does make sense. That makes sense. Right.
She bought, I don't know their name. Don't tell me that. I can't remember their names.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't tell.
So that's how. I wasn't gonna ask you that. That's why I asked you. Like, do you know how many did you have, or have you counted? Like, I'm gonna ask you like name. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
The only person I remember is Vicky.
All right. Right, the littlest girl out of all of them.
She bought 3 of them over here, and they bought that. And they don't say hi, Grandma. And they know me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say they do know you. Like that. That's a good part.
Then TJ called me up one day and we talked. He said, well, I might come over there one day and bring the kids.
Oh,
I
my
God. Please don't let it go.
Man, they will flood this apartment. There's gonna be a lot of people in here. Like,
Ain't
whoa.
nowhere to sit.
Right? Yeah. No, it's like just stay over there in the corner. That's funny.
Oh Lord, that birthday.
Okay. Well, this can be like one of the last questions. Why are pictures so important to you? I know you used to take. You used to have a lot of pictures, obviously, but you used to take a. That's what I'm saying. Like, why was pictures so important to you?
Because I said, well, like now, don't nobody come see me hard.
Mm-hmm.
But Big Debbie, I started saying Big. I don't know. It's just.
Because I think it's really cool. Like, because I don't.
Because you want something to remember, and then you want to leave something back, maybe.
Right.
You can say, well, I remember me being this way, or looking this way, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you all can take the pictures and pass them up.
Right.
Like I got Jelon's shoes, and I had yours and lent them to Pookie or Trinier when she was small.
Okay, right.
And she never gave them back.
Oh, right.
And I got Jelon's shoes when Pookie got mad.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Not that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give them to him for him to pass them down. Don't do nothing to him. Just
just have them as that heirloom thing right here, like to remember. Yeah. Because there's like a story just in that.
Yeah, just give it to your child and just whatever pass it on.
Right. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, because I just know. I remember obviously you take a lot of pictures. You used to take a lot of pictures, especially on like the camera that you had, a thin one. Yeah. I remember that was like a classic. That's like a classic camera. So, and I was like, I know a lot of people haven't even seen the photos, or so that's why I just wanted, because I know Mama used to take a lot of pictures too. Yeah. And I never got to ask her that, but I just was like, I think I need to start taking like more pictures, or like.
And there's something that sometimes people just get their book out with the kids.
Right, exactly.
Have conversation over it,
Right.
Laugh and whatever, I got pictures of Vicky sitting up there drunk.
Right. Oh my God.
Sitting drunk sleep.
See, yeah, that's the classic stuff I'm talking
we
about.
We laugh about it. This little thing got a little drunk.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
You got those wedding clothes, wedding dresses. With them old-fashioned dresses on. I don't know where they got them at.
Right.
And I just like that pictures up there.
Right, exactly.
You can smile on that.
Definitely, yeah. My mom still has that up too. Every time I go in there, I think Jason went in the room one time and seen it. He was like, "That's you?" It was like, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is Kylie." He was like, "Oh, that's when Kylie was a baby," or I'm like, "Well, he wasn't a baby, but yeah, that is him." Like, so, like, just on that, like me showing him stuff like that, just showing younger kids, I'm like, they start to remember that type of stuff, or even just showing him his pictures when he was. I mean, he's only 4, but like showing him when he was like 1.
Yeah,
he wants to go back and look at that stuff, even from his age now. So I was like,
that's why.
Wow, that's like really important. So
not like that picture of John. I wouldn't get that picture where.
Yeah, that's a great picture. That's
and I
like,
got that one over there.
oh wow,
But
wow,
no,
wow.
the one behind the chair.
Okay, okay.
That's the
Mhm.
one that the eyes follow you.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
I was playing cards one day,
yeah.
and I had him laying down on that stool,
Mhm.
and I said, I'm gonna set him up. I said, cause I couldn't figure out nowhere to put him.
Right, right.
So I happened to look up, and he was looking at
I was
me.
like,
And
wait.
then I moved. I said, oh, hell no.
Like, yeah, we're just gonna sit this one to the side for a little bit.
So I bought this radio back that I had bought it, an old
Okay.
time radio.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, from his house. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
remember seeing that too. Mhm.
I had bought that for him for one Christmas.
Okay.
So I bought that back. And Donna gave me the picture, but she said the picture was at church and I didn't see it.
Mm.
So
Okay.
didn't nobody want the picture.
Oh, okay. So you just got
They
it.
gave it to me. So I had him on the floor, but I had him on two books.
Okay.
And Debbie said, Mama, that's the same. You got Daddy on the floor.
Right,
I said, well, I ain't going to put him in the closet.
right, exactly. We gotta keep him out. Like, we don't want to lock him up.
So I put him over there by his picture.
Okay.
So when I raised his shade up, I said, hi, John Burns. And,
Yeah, exactly.
But I cannot have him see
All
it.
right. I probably would do the same thing. Like, I agree, Dad. That's a little too much for me right now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, I love you, but not be like,
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't want you following me around. Like, when I just did all this cooking and stuff, and you're still looking at me like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely.
So,
Okay. Well, I think, let me just double check. I feel like you've answered a lot of the stuff that I already written down, so I do appreciate that. Well, do you want to say anything else? Just say anything else. I don't know.
no,
Okay.
Oh, yes, I do. Lucille and I went bike ride one evening.
Hmm.
Well, I went on, my sister stayed on 7th Street. So
Okay.
we rode over there. And coming back, these two boys were coming up 6th Street coming out Cutter Street. You have to cross over 6th Street to come down the rest of Cutter Street.
Mhm.
And they were coming up 6th Street. And we knew them.
Okay.
So they just followed us on to 4th Street. Well, Lucille's mother was kind of strict.
Mm.
Lucille's mother was standing in the door.
Mm.
And we didn't say whether we knew him or not.
Right.
To make up this lie, whatever. I knew one of us was going to lie.
Right.
It was me. So I was sitting in the house doing something, and Miss Hattie and Lucille knocked on the back door. And Lucille come in there crying. She said, Loretta, tell Mama we knew those boys. I said, no, we didn't. So before she died, we just told our kids that. And her daughter stopped speaking to me.
What?
And by today, she don't speak to me. But her son is crazy about me, when she lost her son.
Oh, right.
Just before Red, she lost her son.
Wow.
But anyway, she said, Loretta, please tell the truth. I said, I am telling the truth. Because Miss Hattie didn't whip her like Mama whipped me.
Right, exactly.
I'm thinking ahead.
You're right. You're like, yeah, no, I'm about to just get ahead of this. I'm not about to have nothing on my side. Yeah, that was smart.
So Miss Hattie took her home. She got with her. And she asked me the next day, she kind of stopped speaking to me, but
Yeah.
But I said, Lucille, Mama would have told me.
Right. Like, I'm just gonna save my skin. I'm just sorry. Like.
But later on in years, I used to go and get people's children and walk them. Their mother owned a bus next door to me, next door to us, and so came confectionery candy, a regular bus that they had bought.
Okay.
They made a store out of it, and Miss Hattie and Mr. Holmes was sitting up there in the yard. Because everybody was grown then. And I went up there and told Miss Hattie that I had lied. But it was about 90 years
That was honorable, though. Like, yeah, it was still on your mind. It's like, now I can get this off my chest. Like,
that did hurt me.
Right, exactly.
She and I were like, we used to go for sisters.
Right.
And she was the only person I really played with on 4th Street.
Okay.
I knew the rest of them.
But you right. That was like your person that you played with. Yeah, your best friend type thing.
And so this ain't nobody.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I really regretted, growing up.
Definitely.
That I did wrong.
Okay, right.
And because I knew Charles Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget the other boy's name, but we knew him, And And if I had known Miss Hattie was gonna be that lenient with Lucille, I would have told her.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But
But hey, he was on your side, like, I don't want to get beat down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I
guys.
know old people used to whip. I mean, they didn't play.
That's what I'm saying.
They-
So
think
just from you
about it.
telling me that story, like how you was stuck in the cold thing, like that sounded crazy.
They rest a little while.
Right.
Come back at you again.
Oh, see. Thinking you good. It's like, okay, like got me. Whoa.
Yeah, you
Like-
think you think you good for the day. You know? Well, yeah, wait a minute.
Like, no, that was not it. Like, sorry. Like,
But a lot of kids got with ironing cards, and Mama would only whip you with a belt. They would get whip with switches. And
mhm.
a lot of people, you know, but Mama, she whip you with a strap. But sometimes she get that is razor strap.
Mhm.
Because she
Oh, yeah, I
she
know
was
the
a
red
barber
strap.
and a preacher.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, the thick, like, piece of
The
leather.
two things together, you know.
Okay,
You do
yeah.
That thing, slap.
Oh, I see.
But I don't remember my brother ever getting a whipping.
So you was like the only one?
Yeah, I told Mama too, you know. I said, Mama, you don't never whip Snoop.
Yeah. Like,
When
what
I'm
is
back, I'm grown when I'm standing back.
this?
Then another time, that this is the worst thing ever happened. I used to have a habit of saying, because you did talk back.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a habit of saying, and stomping my foot.
Mm.
But I'd be a distance.
Right.
So this was on a Sunday morning, and I needed some stockings. I always needed stockings on Sunday.
Mhm.
Mama bought them. And I put them on going to church, Sunday school rather.
Mhm.
And that's boring.
Hey, you come in.
Come on.
Okay.
Boy, this is like,
I signed that and they give me another one.
what's that?
The sign, for the